Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Been a long time. We're back. The Rosa podcast is back. You thought we left? No, we were having the summer off. Busy people, us. You know what I mean? We deserve some time off. We work full-time jobs other than this. The Rosa podcast doesn't have an income, doesn't have a salary. It should.
Yeah,
It might well do in the future. Who knows?
yeah.
But it doesn't. So here we are. Adam, how was your summer so far?
Could have been better. I mean, I've had better summers, but I've had worse summers. But it was nice being on holiday. But yeah, England sort of ruined it a little bit. But we'll get on to that. But what about you? How have you been?
Well, yeah, good, good. Yeah, working, busy, new job, this, that, and the other, all sorts. Yeah, yeah, busy, and Holland not making it easy, but never mind.
Yeah, moving on.
Moving on. Let's not talk about the Euros. They've had
Yeah.
disappointing summers, so we'll skip that out. The championship. No, we'll go on to the Euros. Obviously, Spain won at the weekend to win the European Championships for the third time within the last
Oh,
well, for the fourth time in their history, for the third time in the last 2 decades, the last 16 years.
Jesus. Yeah.
I think there's only been two European Championships that they haven't won since 2008, which is
What was that?
crazy.
France,
2016 and 2020.
France and Italy. Yeah. Uh, that's insane.
Portugal and Italy, but yeah.
Portugal and Italy. Shit. Yeah, my bad. Um, no, that's mental. I'm like, obviously the team wasn't as good as it was back in '08 and stuff, but I think throughout the tournament, they were the only team that were consistent, like
Yeah.
consistently like, good as well. I know teams have been consistent, but they obviously won every game in normal time or without X penalties or something, wasn't it the stat or
Without
something?
penalties, yeah, they played off
Yeah,
into extra
they
time.
just their defense was so good. Midfield for me was the perfect midfield, like a 6, an 8, and a 10. Like, and that was probably post Pedri's injury. They were good with Pedri, but I think they went up again when Danny Olmo started, in my opinion.
Yeah, they had some a bit more attacking,
Yeah.
didn't they, within Danny Olmo, and he was a
Mm,
player as well. I mean, we can talk about Spain's team and their midfield.
mm,
We can talk about Lamine Yamal, sorry. We could, Nico Williams.
yeah.
Then
Fabian Ruiz was insane as
Fabio
well.
Ruiz was a player.
Rodri,
I had
honestly. Yeah.
no idea that he had that in him.
No,
Um,
I don't think anyone did, but they were just built perfect. Like, I think at the start of the tournament, obviously England were favourites and France. And everyone sort
France
of,
trickled out by the group stages. I think
yeah,
they
but
were
I
they
don't
were
think
honking.
it's Spain just gradually like every game they just got better and better and better. Like Germany looked good as well, but Spain just
I think
looked
I do think if
unreal.
if Germany and Spain weren't in the same sort of pathway to the final, I think it would have been a Germany-Spain final. I do think
Oh,
so.
100%, 100%. And I
Um,
think, yeah, both very good teams. Just Spain was just like the keeper was solid. Cucurella was insane. Never seen him play that well in my
yeah,
life.
I mean, I was a big fan of Cucurella till I started hearing him singing today, all over
Yeah,
Twitter, and I'm
I
very
didn't.
confused, and I think Cucurella needs to get a fucking life.
Yeah,
And I now despise the bloke. So yeah,
yeah.
did think he had a solid tournament though.
No, he was really good. Carvajal was again really good, consistent, up for the Ballon d'Or now, Danny Carvajal. Um, but like Laporte and is it
The
Lenormand was
Normand,
very,
yeah,
as you said, the midfield just
the midfield
was.
show, yeah.
You've seen the quality of Rodri for years, but like you said with Fabian, no one really knew he had that in him, and then
Yeah.
he just.
But I think this is the thing. I think I spoke to someone not too long ago is that within Spanish football, the tiki taka, the possession style based football, that does I feel like that's just ingrained in Spanish football now. Like no
Mm,
matter the team, no matter the quality of the squad on paper, that team will play that style of football. It's so ingrained in them. You can see
yeah,
they've been trained that way from a young age to play that
mm,
style of football. And I
they
say,
just know what to
and
do.
England don't have one. They don't have a style of football. Hence,
No, mm,
tactically just seemed lost the whole tournament
yeah,
and relied on individual brilliance in moments that mattered. You had the Jude Bellingham overhead kick, the Bukayo Saka goal against Switzerland. You had a very dodgy penalty decision for the against Netherlands, and you'd agree.
yeah, that was a weird
Obviously,
one. Yeah.
moment of brilliance from Cole Palmer and Ollie Watkins, and then
Mm,
Cole Palmer again in the final. Yeah, I mean, I think
yeah,
it's individual moments of brilliance that have led England to the final, which you
Mm.
need that in your team. You do need individual brilliance. As much as a unity you can be. You look at Turkey and Romania sides that, and
Georgia.
Georgia as well, sides that got to the round of 16s and quarters and
Yeah.
looked like a unit, but didn't really have that sort of individual brilliance. As you can argue with Turkey with Arda Güler, but still, I don't
Yeah.
quite
No.
at that level yet. Um, but at the same time, with these sides, we saw them progress so far because they were a unit, and England just did not seem, the players, in the sort of off the pitch videos, the players seem to love each other, but just on the pitch, just do not seem like a team at all.
No, I think I 100% agree. Like we'll touch more on England later, but it's just, they're just so far. There's so many problems I think with watching England. Like we both said before the Euros, we had obviously a slight little preview sort of video, and we were both club over country. We both agreed with that, and I think it obviously you follow the Netherlands, I follow England, but it doesn't help the way England play. Like there's no like I don't look forward to watching England play because they don't play good football. Although yes, they've got better players than my team Liverpool have, or a lot of good players,
But there's also
arguably.
so much potential for England to play good football.
Exactly. And
The,
it's like
the quality of
it's
players
just
are there.
it's just disappointment from minute one. Like it generally is. And as I
Yeah.
said, we'll try not to go too much onto England, but
Same with
like
France's tournament as well. We look
yeah,
at
France would.
individual talents compared to how they
Yeah.
perform as a team.
I do think the injury to Mbappe really affected him. I don't know if that's a controversial thing
It
or whatever.
affected the whole team
I
morale
think that
wise.
really affected him and his
Um,
confidence. Like it was quite
but
a serious
even
injury.
then, the team of France really have to. They're not a one
Oh
man team.
no, they weren't good enough at all. Like they were just like Colin Mawani's not a good striker. Like they were just relying on Mbappe to do something, and when he didn't, they were just caught out. They couldn't do
Clueless.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clueless.
I think
Yeah, I think
Portugal as well. So if
Portugal.
if you had to
I think
pick,
Portugal
let's
were
say,
unlucky. Took France all the way to penalties. Obviously
yeah,
got taken to penalties by Slovenia after quite a positive group. I mean, we you look at Portugal. They won last minute. It was against Czech Republic. I want to say I can't remember who it was, but they won last minute in their first group game. Then beat Turkey 3-0, and you're thinking, okay, Portugal are serious. Lose 2-0 to Georgia, but you kind of wiped that last
they'd
group.
already,
Yeah,
yeah, they'd
ready
already
through.
qualified. Yeah,
Yeah, you can kind of, yeah. But then you play Slovenia, you think if Portugal can get a big win here, they're going to look as favourites, get taken all the way to penalties. Arguably, should have lost from that when Benjamin Sesko went 1-on-1, and obviously Ronaldo missed a
yeah,
penalty. Um,
mm.
One on penalties, scraped through that, and then France, yeah, again. Obviously, look, we've had a lot of big countries, I think, not perform up to standards. We say England, we say Italy as well, not getting crushed out
Mm.
in round the 16. Granted, their squad has taken a massive hit since since three years ago when they won the Euros.
Mm.
But yeah, France, Portugal, England, teams that have really not hit flights. I think I'd even say Netherlands. Obviously, we reached the semi-final.
I think that was where people maybe predicted you get to though, in my opinion. I think
Yeah, I think it's a respectable return, but
yeah, I wouldn't say like you were going into expecting to win the tournament
no,
or
no. But I think
I think semis is and like to get knocked out to England, arguably one
it's
of
more the
the
squad. It's
favourites.
more. It's more the squad that's available to Netherlands that kind of got us
Yeah.
to semis rather than the final. Obviously, we had no De Roon, no Coop Miners, no Frankie De
Mhm.
Jong.
Yeah.
Three key midfielders
Mm.
uh, out of the tournament, which hindered us from the start. And I think with Netherlands, what's so great to see is it's such a young squad.
Mm.
In 4 years' time, when we play the European Championships in England, Van Dijk and De Vrij aren't going to be there. But who are
Mm.
Mickey van der Ven, Matthijs de Ligt, two world-class centre halves already in the making, if they're not world-class already.
And
Nathan
Frimpong as well will probably get more minutes.
Frimpong is
But
young,
yeah.
but for Bruggen's only 21. He had an incredible tournament in goal for Netherlands. Granted, he conceded a few goals, but made some
Yeah.
match-winning saves, especially against Turkey.
Mm.
Um, you know, who else you got? Frankie, yeah, Jurdy Schouten, who impressed me. Tiani Reinders impressed.
Reinders was good. Yeah, I was impressed with Reinders and
Cody
Xavi Simons.
Gakpo's still got a ceiling to get ahead of. You know what I mean? These are all players that are doing
And there'll be
young.
more players that come up as well
Joshua
because
Zirkzee, he's just signed for Man United. Didn't
oh
barely,
yeah, yeah.
barely played a minute in the Netherlands shirt, but these young promising players are really breaking through at Holland. Xavi Simons, one that
Mm.
I've just completely missed.
Yeah, he was unreal as well. He was really
So
good.
I
I think
really think in
yeah.
4 years, Netherlands could be.
The thing is, there's a lot of teams like that. Like I think Portugal, like for Portugal for me, there was a few. There was like I don't know if you have lots of a top three players that sort of underperformed. For me, one of them would be Ronaldo. I know it's quite an obvious
Ronaldo and
one.
Mbappe, I think, are the two that
I
screamed, and
think
I think even Harry Kane.
Depay was poor for me. What I expected more from him.
Yeah, but I think Depay isn't sort of one that you're
Oh,
expecting
he's not on that level,
play
I
the
know, but
tournament by
without
storm.
just
Mbappe,
picking on the
Ronaldo,
base,
and Kane are, and they didn't
yeah, Foden as
ultimately.
well would 100%
Oh,
on. But
yeah,
with Ronaldo, I'm a Messi fan. That's all. Like but it was sad to see Ronaldo like that. It wasn't nice, like seeing him
oh, I
like
found it hilarious.
I couldn't because it's weird watching like players that you grew up on and they are fading and you can see he's clearly fading.
Mm.
Um, but it was his ego. The ego is obviously how has he gotten to where he is today because of he's always had the ability.
And the
But
drive and determination,
yeah, he just
commitment.
didn't look it like
Yeah,
I think they'd have gotten way further by just playing Jota up front. And that's not even just being Liverpool biased, but Jota would have scored half them chances
he
Ronaldo
would have
got.
made the movements, would have been quicker.
Yeah, and I think and like the fact he barely got any minutes Jota was ridiculous. And they kept persisting with Ronaldo. He just wouldn't like the game where he took about six free kicks was just laughable. You're actually going like, mate, come on, like at some point your pride must go.
Yeah,
Let's give the free kick to Bruno Fernandes or because they had some really good players. I thought Vitinha was exceptional. He was really good. I was really impressed with him, and he played really well. Bruno probably didn't have maybe the best tournament he's had. He probably could have done a bit more, but I think they were all trying to force Ronaldo to like give him the ball, cross it to him, whatever, and he just wasn't scoring.
yeah.
So it's affected the whole team. Like Rafael was a bit disappointing. I didn't see much from him. Pedro Neto played quite well when he played. Like Cancelo was good. Pepe
Well,
was for 41
yeah.
year old Pepe was unbelievable as well.
I still
Uh,
think Portugal just still lacked again the unity as a team
mm, that's
because
because it's
again it seemed like everythit evolved around Ronaldo. It
yeah,
made it
a
all
bit
about
like
him as well.
France with Mbappe. They're
Yeah,
trying to force one player. So if they took out Ronaldo, so maybe the next World Cup, oh, unless he's going to carry on again, hopefully he doesn't. But if they just bench him and play the Leao or a Jota, a João Felix or Gonzalo Ramos, I think that could have been a way better team. And he looked at and gone, oh, actually, they could be a serious threat. And then
and
Ronaldo on the bench
what's
for the last
Eder
10
doing
minutes.
these days? You know what I mean? What's Eder?
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, I wonder what he's doing. Yeah. But I think there was so many teams where you're expecting more, um, because they all have such quality. So without picking just the full Spanish team, if you had to pick two players that were like except like sort of you maybe didn't expect them to be as good as they were, I'll allow one Spanish player, so you haven't got two Spanish players.
I'm going to
Who
go
would you?
without Spanish flag, so I like obscure shouts, but one of them for me is Cody Gapco.
What?
I
Yeah,
didn't. Obviously after the season at Liverpool, did not expect him to
yeah,
be
no, I'd agree. Yeah.
potent as what he was,
Hmm.
as threatening as what he was. I was really impressed with him. Whenever watching him, I thought I'd have to pick one from my own country. Another
Mm.
player that impressed me, put me on the spot here, mate. Oh, I'm trying to think. Another player that impressed me.
Do you think could get a good move if they haven't already played for a top club?
Mark Gay.
Oh, it was going to be one of mine. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again, I just didn't think he'd have. Don't get me wrong. I think Mark Hayes is a very good. Even prior to the tournament, I thought he was a very
yeah.
good half. I knew. I think a lot of people predicted when the team came out that Mark Gay was going to play alongside John Stones, and everyone's happy with that. But I don't think anyone expected him to be as
That,
composed,
yeah, no,
just
100%. We actually missed him when he did
comfortable
play.
yeah, as comfortable as what he was in that position, that role in such a big tournament for such a young player, and
Mm,
he excelled. So yeah, and he's obviously at Palace, and Palace are doing good things. Obviously, have sold Michael Olise, but we all knew that was going to happen. But
yeah,
under Glasner, I really think Mark Gay could do something. But again, he didn't seem to really be part of their starting lineup on the back end of last season. So maybe he might get a big move.
no,
That's
yeah,
the cards. I think Cody Gakpo, obviously, he is at Liverpool, but could he do with a move
yeah.
somewhere?
Get pushed into the team with Arnie Slot now. Could have made that done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dutchman, so
100%.
maybe.
No, they're
But what
two really
about
good shouts.
your
Yeah,
your two? Your
I was
two?
going to say Gehi, but I'll change one to Reinders because I was really impressed. I watched a lot of the Netherlands. I tried to watch all the big games, the big like teams
Yeah.
during the Euros, and I was really impressed with Reinders. He's at AC Milan, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's at AC
sure.
Milan now, signed from RZ
Yeah,
Alkmaar.
and
But
he just kept the ball really well. Like he did the basics, just like just really tidy on the ball. Like he didn't seem to give it away much. He was
He's a
just
midfielder, isn't he? I was
but
really
like
impressed. Him and Yurdi Skouten in the midfield together. I mean, Grant, obviously, we're missing a big midfielder and could have done with a Frankie de Jong, but I thought both of them, Skouten and Reinders, both done really, really good things.
Reinders was really impressive the way he just brought the ball up, but then always seemed to make the right choice. Like it was just a lot of qualities that I was like, oh, fair. Like considering I'm not going to say I watched him loads when he was in the Netherlands or whatever, but seeing him then, he looked really impressive. And then second player, I would say Vitinha. As I said, he was again really tidy for Portugal. That I was like, oh wow, he's really good. Um, Gakpo again was obviously a great shout. And Gahey did take my one, but I'll try and think of another one. Um, who is it? I'm trying to think. It is difficult, even though I asked you the question. There's,
Yeah, it's your
um,
question. Get the answer.
yeah, no, I should have actually had an answer, right? I had Gahey ready, but I don't want to say the same ones. Um, the keeper for Georgia, is it Georgia?
Oh,
Is it?
Mark Ashley, yeah,
Yeah,
very
I'm not
good.
even trying. He
That's
was
another
very
one.
good.
Gorges Mikel Tadze. But to be fair, I knew he was going to have a good tournament. When
Oh,
at work, when we done our fantasy team, one of the first players I put on my team, I always put the cheapest striker in the team, Gorges Mikel Tadze,
oh, the
because
striker.
the guy, I could, he's a player. He's a serious player, and
Is
everyone
there
called him
who
tournament.
was the keeper was like
Mark
Mash.
Ashley, yeah, Mark
That's
Ashley,
the one. He was really good, and that's the.
very good.
I think he could get a move to the Premier League, like someone like Brentford or
Yeah, he's only
somewhere.
at Valencia at the minute. I'm really shocked how he
Yeah.
hasn't got a
That's the
move
thing.
around. He's
Someone.
been
So
very
he'll
good
be my
keeper for
one.
a few years as well. It's not just sort of like
Yeah.
happened just at the Euros. Like he's a
He
very
made
good
some
keeper.
ridiculous saves, and he was definitely one of the reasons that they got that far. I think Arda Güler as well. I didn't think he'd be quite as good as what I thought he was, and
You
he
know
was
what?
really.
I hadn't heard of Arda before the tournament.
I only knew he played a few minute games for Real Madrid, and I just you sort of see the odd rising ball that's posted about him. I was like, oh, he can't be all that. And then seeing him play, I was like,
He
wow,
is all that. He's a
yeah, he is all that.
serious player.
Um, and that was the same. Like I thought, Florian Wirtz was good. Musiala, there was a lot of.
I mean, Yamal as well.
Uh, yeah, that's the thing. You could say that him and Nico Williams are absolutely exceptional. Like the two of them, hopefully, if they both sign for
Fabian
Barca,
Ruiz, we said, we didn't expect him to
yeah,
have the tournament that you did.
you could go like Cucurella. You could go half the Spanish team. I think for me, Dani Olmo was the player of the tournament because of the way he changed the Spanish team.
Yeah,
Rodri was very good, but and I'm not denying he deserves it as well. But for me, because I like goals, like assists, I think Dani Olmo and some of the goals and assists he got were exceptional as well. But obviously, Rodri is the whole like core of that team. But so who would you say is your biggest disappointment was Ronaldo and Mbappe then?
Ronaldo and Mbappe and Kane. I think was
Yeah.
despite the fact that Kane still got 3 goals. So
Yeah,
yeah,
not the best goals you'd ever see,
yeah,
but that's the thing.
two
If you go
penalties,
based off stats, you look at it and go like,
two
oh,
penalties and a header from 2 yards out. I mean,
yeah, and it is questionable. So, do you, if to make a very early prediction now, looking at the World Cup, a
mhm.
very early prediction 2 years from now, which European team do you think will get the furthest? I don't want to say will win it because you've got teams like Argentina that could be up there.
This is difficult because the change of manager is all, and it's not just of England. Obviously, we'll go on to
Mm.
the whole Southgate
Yeah,
thing. But again, it depends who's managing. Obviously, I don't want Koeman still in charge of Holland. I don't think Deschamps should still be in charge of France.
there's
Obviously,
a lot of changes. Yeah, when you look at it, I think yeah,
who's the what's the name of the manager at fucking Germany?
Germany's
Is it Hans
it's not
Flick
the young lad. No, Flick's at Barca.
and Nagelsmann?
Oh, Nagelsmann.
Yeah, again,
I think he'll still be there, unless Klopp might be there by then. I don't know.
he he wasn't awful. I think.
Mm.
Was it Di Matteo? No, it's not Di Matteo. Was it Martinez?
Martinez was at Portugal. Yeah,
Yeah, again, he needs to go. I think he's too experimental with his style of football.
I think
Uh,
he just needs to drop Ronaldo pretty much is the way he's
yeah.
going.
So there's plenty. I think it really does depend on like the managerial changes and the growth of the young players over the time. Obviously,
Mm.
we could see some become world beaters. Especially like Cole Palmer at England.
Yeah,
He could be a mainstay in that England side. Um,
I
I've
think
said
it's weird because
the
you
Netherlands as
look at a
well.
lot of the top teams. Like you look at France. People like Giroud definitely won't be playing. Some of these older players will be fading out. For Portugal, have no Pepe, no Ronaldo. People like Bruno Fernandes will be getting on. Like
Tony
Bernardo
Cruz,
Silva will be a
Germany,
bit older. Germany, Cruz is not there. Meuer's not going to be there. Probably some of the defenders must be. Neuer's not going to be there.
Netherlands. Van Dijk will still be there in 2 years, and that's our oldest player.
is he the oldest one? People like the Fry and stuff might
The
not be a little
rise,
bit
but
more.
again, we're talking about top players
Oh
that
yeah,
average.
no, that's what I mean. Sort of that whole you're getting rid like a lot of these squads will be stripped a
But
bit.
this is
Like
the
maybe
thing
with England, you
with
might
the
want to
Netherlands,
have Kyle Walker.
you take out Stefan de Vrij, you put in Mickey van der Ven and Matthijs de Ligt, who are arguably already better than him, and I don't think
Or
de Vrij.
even Nathan Ake can play in the middle. Yeah, that's
Nathan Ake
true.
can play left back, and Mickey van der Ven can play left back. So, and
Yeah.
you take the Vrij out of the squad. Who do you put in? Yuri and Timber, Hato.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you and Tim, but yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he could have a good
Yeah,
season.
I think with the Netherlands, there's so much young talent that I think if I mean I'm so biased when I say this, and I agree, I'm probably am biased, but
Yeah,
just because of the young talent that the Netherlands have, and I feel like this is starting to become the golden generation again of Dutch football. I feel
it's
like
that perfect mix at the moment
we
of you've
have a
got.
leader in Van Dijk who can guide the Dutch
Mm,
players through the
yeah,
ranks. Although I think he had a stinking tournament, I don't think he was at his best at all. I'll be honest. He had
yeah,
his
no,
moments, but again, he was very shoddy. Um,
mm,
but again, he's a leader, and I think with him in the squad in 2 years' time, with all these young players who are growing, getting better, Frankie De Jong injury free, hopefully, Donyell Marlon, who's hopefully got better, Cody Gakpo got better, Xavi
yeah,
could be a world class footballer.
yeah,
But
more experience under these players and more game time with this.
I
Yeah,
really do think that this Dutch squad
mm,
could go further than all. But that again,
yeah.
that's my bias.
Oh no, you're looking at it based off what you have, and you're looking at it now going, why can't they? If they get a decent draw as well, like if you had the similar draw to what you had now with a few more South American teams in there, you could don't see why not. Like you've got the quality of like so I definitely think there's a few teams that sort of look at it like
It's
that.
also making the World Cup as well. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Dutch have struggled in that 2016, 2018. So
yeah.
we'll see. What about you? Who's your shout?
I look at Portugal. I think Portugal. Yeah, I think if they just get the balance right, basically drop Ronaldo and then a new centre back, I'm sure there's going to be some really good like
Yeah,
Portugal.
Ignacio,
Yeah,
maybe.
there'll be someone who's really good that will
Yeah,
come out of top a bit.
definitely.
Um, their midfield's got the quality. I think they need to drop Bernardo Silva back into midfield or not play him on the wing personally,
They got players
alongside
that make it home.
Coutinho or Polina is in there. Like they got the quality in there to sort of mix it up. Pedro Neto on one wing, Rafael and then Jota through the middle. It's just that's so much pace up front. There's skill, right foot, left foot, head in, whatever you want. Cancelo, Semedo, whoever, or Nuno Mendes. Sorry, like they've got some real quality in that team. So I put them
Yeah,
maybe goalkeeper. Um, I just think they just need to lose the ego of Ronaldo and have that reset, or even keep Ronaldo as like a super sub for the last 10, 15 minutes because he'll be a threat. Um, and they can all learn off him. I know England had it with Cody, like Connor Cody. I know I'm not saying they're different, but he had that player who was just in the dressing room, and he could be someone like that for the
Jordan
next.
Henderson was very much that as well.
Yeah, obviously Ronaldo's way above these players, but if he goes and not with the expectation of playing 85 minutes a game and expectation of playing 10, 15, 20, then I think that would help Portugal. Um, so that's yeah, they'd be my team. I think they could overtake. Obviously, France look very good, but striker wise, they just worry me because they have good wingers. But I look at their striker and go, I don't like Mbappe through the middle, and then Giroud's going to be gone. I don't. I like Thuram,
Remember
but he's not
Barney or Thuram?
clinical. I don't like Kolo Muani, and unless there's going to be some young French striker, which I'm sure there is, like it's such a big nation. There's always players that come through France. Then maybe them. But for me, it'd be Portugal, would be sort of an early outside. I'd love to say England, but I just can't see it at the moment.
All right.
But
Well, that concludes the Euros review, and yeah, see you
we're
all for
back.
see you all for the next video.